me see. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Oh, we're good. Let me change the category. So it's not to mislead the peepers. Boom. Now we could go back to Stream Manager. What's up, chat? What's going on? Cool. How we doing? How we feeling? How we living? Welcome back on the YouTube side of things to the Cozy Corner podcast. The only podcast by a non-media personality that has a podcast better than most media personalities. No, I'm kidding. That sounded shady. That sounded like a shot. It wasn't. That sounded like a direct shot. I promise you it wasn't. But it's just that thing of where this is just simply a podcast where we talk about everything. The ups and downs of content creation. The thought processes of all things in the music industry and just the entertainment industry as a whole. And yeah, that's pretty much it. You talk a little bit of sports, a whole lot of music, and a whole lot more real life. Just to kind of help bring that curtain down for some of y'all. And give us more of a reason to connect as a community. That's really the intention. That's really the intention of the podcast, for real. What? Okay. Okay, well. Hello. How art thou? Matter of fact, let me just do this and grab my phone real quick. So I can open up Discord for a hot second because our lovely sports correspondent here in the Cozy Clubhouse, Miss Lady J, does her extra most bestest job to make sure that all of y'all in the Cozy Clubhouse that are sports watchers and sports enthusiasts keep up with all of the news and sports. And that's kind of where we start off. That's where I like to start off my pods. For those of y'all that have been dropping the comments talking about, why does he always start off with sports if he really don't care about it like that? And nobody said I didn't care. I'm just not going to dedicate my entire life to watching sports because of the fact that there are other things that I'm passionate about. So, yeah. With that being said, we can't go forward without we can't go forward in this pod um without doing this. Condolences and definitely a huge RIP to Keith Miller the third. For those of y'all that don't know who he is, um, he was a football player at the University of Colorado. Um, he had a really big breakout season last year for them. Um, under Coach Prime, like you know what I mean. Um, under Coach Prime's first year, Deion Sanders. For those of y'all that don't know, uh, you know what I mean. Um, he had a huge breakout year his first year under Coach Deion Sanders. Um, and a lot of people were excited to see what he was going to do this season. Unfortunately, he tragically lost his life. Um, I'm not sure. I didn't really dive too deep into it on the details of all of the matter. Um, but the fact of the matter is that that this is another young man whose life has been cut short. Um, he oh he well okay well yeah. So I definitely can't even I can't even bring those details up because of the platforms that I can't go into details because of the platforms that I'm on. Um, you know what? Now that you're mentioning that, Miss Lady J, I did see that though. I did see that somewhere on Twitter. Um, which actually further now pushes me into the point of um check on all of your peoples. This goes out to this goes out to everybody. Um, I say that multiple times. Um, I will say that multiple times a year, multiple times a stream. I will say that honestly until the day that the good Lord decides to call me home. Check on all of your friends. Um, even your strong friends. Even if you have to, as a friend, pry a little bit. Check on your friends because it's that thing of where, um, I don't know all of the ins and outs of what this young man was going through, but I'm sure the pressures of being a student athlete, um, and being an African American young man, and being an African American man in America, uh, like you know what I mean, like those two pressures alone, um, can drive you to some places that you don't want to be. Um, but again, condolences to the family and those and his, like you know what I mean, not just the family but the teammates, um, Coach Primetime and his staff. Um, I'm sure that's a very serious and heavy situation to deal with. Um, especially in the prepping in the early stages of prepping for next season. Um, this is definitely something that you don't want to deal with in that regard. Um, but yeah, that's just a subject that I definitely take very serious here on this platform. And Y'all niggas can hate me about talking about it all that you want. Um, but due to the fact that this is a subject matter that hits super close to home for yours truly, I'm gonna talk about it every chance that I can get because it's a very, very serious conversation that needs to be had. Um, not just amongst the community of athletes, but just amongst um, the African American community as a whole. I don't think it's talked about, especially and particularly for African American men. It's something that's not talked about. Um, I think as much as it should be. Um, yeah, as much as it should be, or as often as it is spoken about. Um, so yeah, all of the people that watch me, check on your people, man. I'm always gonna say that. Um, even if them folk don't hit back right away, um, check on your people. Check on your people, and not just when you want something. Like actually, just actively check on your people. Um, because this is a situation that's a very, very serious subject for that, you know what I mean, that isn't talked about enough. Um, and to anybody in my community or that, you know what I mean, or who are supporters of me that watch me, um, hopefully you're good at context clues. But if this is a situation that you are struggling with, um, just know your mental health is important. Your life does matter. Um, you add and have val- you add and bring value to many of people, more people than you would even realize. Um, so if that's something you are dealing with, actively reach out and seek help. Um, and find you somebody that you can confide in and talk to about those things. And yeah, again, uh, a huge, huge RIP to Keith Miller. And again, once again, my the once again the biggest of condolences uh, to you and your family. um, you know what I mean, to the family and to the other fellow student athletes um, that knew him, that had a relationship with him, um, and just know that you got a nerdy little black boy on the internet praying for you. Um, Shifting gears, the Indiana Pacers clinched a playoff spot. Um, so again, the Pacers fans rejoice. Proud of y'all. Y'all did that. Y'all did y'all big one with that. Um, Reason why that's important is because I'm actually I'll be honest. I'm a huge fan of this Pacers of this new look Pacers team. Um, it's been quite a long while, respectfully, but it's been quite a long while since y'all have had um, a team this successful enough to make their way to the postseason. So you know what I mean. That's a big deal, and needs to be celebrated and talked about. Uh, we'll get into that in a second because that is part of our sports subject. Because I am going to talk about that a little bit. Um, um, yeah, man, I'm excited. I'm excited for you. For the Pacers though. I'm excited to see some more postseason Pacers basketball. Um, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Tyrese Halliburton and that whole crew. Um, Miles Turner, that squad. I think that squad is excellently put together. Um, there's gonna be an exciting little group to watch, um, and things of that nature. So congrats to the Pacer squad. For getting the things done, locking up that sixth seed. Since that is the other shifting gears. I'm sorry, give me a second. Shifting gears. The NBA, not the NBA, the WNBA draft is tonight. And let me just say the biggest of good luck to all of the young ladies that declared for the draft this year. Um, to your comment, Miss Lady J, I know you didn't want her there in Indy, um, but you also got to think she was Miss Caitlin Clark was the uh, overwhelming front running favorite going into this WNBA draft. Um, and again, I get it because of the. I'm sure you have more of your reasonings of why you as a Indiana sports fan don't want her there. Um, but like you know what I mean. I get it. She's literally been a media darling for the past what 2 3 years. Well, definitely for the past two, she's been a damn media darling, and the media absolutely loves her. Um, and so business wise, I could understand why the Fever would use her as would use their number one pick on her. Um, Nah, it is what it is. I'm not really like hating or nothing. It's just that thing of where it's just like, I mean, where else was Shorty gonna go? Type situation. Yeah, yeah. That's really all I. Um, I mean, we the veterans in the league have already said their piece on what they feel about Caitlin Clark. Um, and I'm excited to see it. It's gonna make for a great season, and it's gonna make for some great games. Um, yeah, it's definitely gonna make for some great games. Um, so yeah, it's gonna make for some great games. So we'll see what happens and how the season shakes out. Um, uh, what else? What else? What else? What else? Oh no, that's 2025 where they're adding a team. Um, that's it. We gonna see what's up. Yeah, all of the veteran WNBA ladies are like, yeah, you know what I mean. Like all that stuff she was doing in college was cute, but like now you got to do it over here against us. Um, and honestly, I love that energy. I like that energy out of our young ladies. I mean, out of our women in the out of our professional sports ladies makes for an exciting game. Um, I'm gonna be honest. The people can say whatever it is that they want, but the championship, the road to a championship, still runs through Las Vegas. And honestly, that's where everything is at for me, chat. To be honest, it's like I get it. We talking all of this stuff about like Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, and Camila Cardoso, and like all of these amazing young ladies that are coming in as like first year players or whatever and what have you. But it's just like it's like yeah, that's all cute, but like y'all still gotta worry about figuring out how y'all gonna beat them girls in Las Vegas. Um, that should be your main focus for real. Like, this Caitlin Clark stuff is cool. It's just like, oh my gosh, she's the greatest thing since sliced bread. She's not. She's cool. She's good. She's talented. She can play ball. She can put ball in hoop. But respectfully with love, there's a big bad wolf that is still roaming around, and their name are the like, you know what I mean. There's a pack of big bad wolves roaming around, and their names are the Las Vegas Aces. So respectfully with love, like address that, address that. Figure out how you're gonna build a team to compete with that. Um, because much like Don Staley with the South Carolina Gamecocks, Becky Hammond has a well-oiled machine over there in Las Vegas, and she has a super duper star in Asia Wilson that y'all gonna have to. And this is and all biased, like all bias, and me having a little crush on her aside. The girl can hoop, and she played defense, so it's just like not like you know what I mean. It's not like you can just like go and be like, okay, well, now that we have the ball, we can take a nah. She's still down there. That she's gonna pin your shot on the backboard if you not paying attention. And also, if you're a perimeter player, Caitlin Clark, you're gonna have to also worry about uh Kelsey Plum. Not just Kelsey Plum, Chasey, not even not Kelsey, not even Casey Plum, but also Chelsea Gray. Yeah, you not safe. So it's this thing for all of you media personalities doing the Gok Gok 3000 Caitlin Clark. It's just like, hey bro, say bro, like you do realize there's still a like perfectly like a excellently crafted and put together team over there in Las Vegas that like folks still had to contend with and bang with on a night to night basis. So it's just like, and that other thing too, a lot of for all of you media personalities saying that this little girl is the female LeBron James, stop it right now. Stop it. Like actively cut it out because that's ridiculous. Actively cut it out because that's actively ridiculous. That's the dumbest thing I've heard. Um, I can't even say all week. That's the dumbest thing I've heard you media people say all year. Is Caitlin Clark talented? Yes. Female LeBron James, get out of here. For one, you can't even make that comparison because she's Caucasian. Um, secondly, they don't even like that's a terrible NBA comparison. If you would have said Steph Curry, I would have let you live and I would have let you rock. Like, you know what I mean? If you would have said she's the female Steph Curry, then I would have been like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. because she shoots from the logo. But and then it's that thing of where all of y'all that say that and then get killed on Twitter, and then y'all try to walk it back. And then y'all try to backpedal, be like, no, 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 no. See, what I meant was, what I mean is like she's like the female LeBron James as far as like the impact and the hype for her to be in the no, no, stop it. Y'all niggas said what y'all said, and you sound goofy as hell. You sound goofy as hell. Um, that's really it, and that's all. Well, nah. Switching from the WNBA to the NBA. Um, the NBA postseason is upon us. Um, the playing tournament's getting ready to start soon. Um, my Pelicans made it to the playing tournament. I'm actively nervous. Um, if I could just be a New Orleans Pelican, it could be a hard. If I could be the hardcore New Orleans Pelican fan that I am, and that I have been all season. Um, I'm gonna be honest with you, chat and YouTube. I'm actively nervous. I'm terrified. I am. Yeah, I'm nervous. Um, for those of y'all that might be like, why is Bambi nervous? What is there to be nervous about? I'm gonna just call a spade a spade. Uh, Pelicans honestly haven't played that great of basketball all year, and they didn't finish the season any better. Um, the one positive that I am happy about is that Zion Williamson played more games this season. Um, than in the past couple of seasons. Um, so there is that, but uh, yeah, I mean, numbers haven't looked exactly the greatest. Um, yeah, numbers haven't looked exactly the greatest all season long. Um, and the part that bothers me that New Orleans Pelicans fans still aren't talking about is the fact that he's actively showing us that he doesn't care about the game of basketball for real, um, despite how talented he is. Same thing with Ben Simmons. Like, don't get it twisted. For all of you Ben sexuals out there, that nigga don't care about basketball either. Those two are in the same boat for me. These niggas, these niggas got drafted number one. These niggas both got drafted number one overall. and are still actively here in the league, literally walking around saying, I'm just here for the check. Only thing is also Zion Williamson makes it worse, and he says that, you know what I mean, he's trying to figure out his fit and his role in this team. Like you aren't a franchise cornerstone. Uh, so I don't know how that's so all of these concerns is the reason of why I don't know what uh, the postseason Pelicans basketball is going to look like. Um, and it's actively frustrating. Um, it's actively frustrating. Um, yeah, it's actively frustrating. I don't know what the hell is going on. I don't know what the hell is going on over there in that sporting facility. Um, but nevertheless, um, nevertheless, um, as far as those wondering who I have as a favorite to win the NBA Finals this year, um, be quite honest with you, I don't know. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Um, Ask me again around conference finals time. I should know by then. I should for sure have a definite answer by then. It's just too much. It's just too up in the air, and there's just too many factors right now. Chat going into the you know what I mean. Going into it, there's just too many things that are still in play for a lot of teams. Um, and yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. I know for sure who's not one of my favorites to win it. That team in Phoenix. And I get it, all of you NBA nerds. But Devin Booker and Kevin Durant. I don't care. You niggas spent all of that money and Bradley Beal didn't even play a full season. I get it. Bradley Beal has his battles with injuries and things of that nature. But y'all niggas gave up a bulk of y'all team to get that man. A good bulk of your team to get a good, not even just a good bulk of your team, a good bulk of your bench to bring this man onto y'all squad just for him to not really play like that. I guess because the idea of it, like you know what I mean, aesthetically, probably like the idea of how it looked on paper, it probably sounded a lot better to y'all. And for the sake of ticket sales and things of that nature, I'm sure that you know what I mean. That was really like the main end all be all goal with this shit, but I don't care about none of that. Phoenix ain't finna do nothing. Um, and that's another thing too. We got to stop pushing this narrative that Devin Booker is a baby Kobe Bryant. He's not. Let's just stop that now. He's not. Like at all. He's not. Is he good? Yes. Talented? Absolutely. Baby Kobe Bryant? Stop it. Stop it right now. Nigga made one finals appearance and choked halfway through the series. Literally choked halfway through the series. But that nigga's a baby Kobe Bryant, though, right? Get out of here, big dog. Um, yeah, that's for sure all I have. Yeah, that's it. That's my thoughts on sports so far this week. Uh, I mean, that's your sports from this past week. Um, Shifting gears to get into the first subject of what the title is about. Um, hey man, I don't know if y'all know, but yeah, it's around this. It's about that time of year. Um, for those that aren't in the music biz or in the or really aren't in tune with what I mean as a not only as a content creator but as an artist in this as a space in this space. Um, for those of y'all that don't know, Coachella was this past weekend. Um, and the reason why that's a big deal is because of the fact that technically, for those of y'all that don't know, Coachella is actually the kickoff to what those of us in the industry call festival season. Um, so yeah, it's about that time. It's not even about it. It's that time. It's that time. um, yeah, it's that time of year where, like, you know what I mean. Where yeah, it's that time where you're gonna go to a lot of these music. Well, not maybe not all of y'all, but a lot of y'all are gonna go to a lot of these music festivals um this year, and you're gonna get introduced to some newer folks. Yeah, you're gonna get introduced to some newer folks, and for some of y'all, it's gonna some of your favorites will pop up at some of these festivals, and um, maybe their spots will be solidified on where they stand for you um, once festival season is over. Um, but yeah, it's that time of year, man. So excuse me. What I am gonna say is this, and I say this every festival season to all of my festival goers. Um, do what you do, and go in there, um, go there. Hopefully, walk away with a new favorite artist if you can. Um, have a good time, enjoy enjoy all of the dope music that you possibly can. Um, but above all, be safe, man. Make sure that you make it home to make sure that you make it home to be able to talk to be able to see um those that are important to you. Because that's just the biggest thing. Be safe. Um, be safe. Keep your water bottles or your tumblers or your canteen, whatever it is that you're taking with you. Keep that joint on your person. Uh, by no means and by absolutely no stretch of the imagination and under any circumstances should you ever put your drink down. Um, because niggas are weirdos. So yeah, that's it and that's all. Um, I really have for that. I'm excited to see. Um, I'm excited to see who walks away from this year's festival season as kind of like the break at the new like artist to watch um from it all. Um and so yeah, I'm super juiced about that's really the biggest thing that I'm excited about. Also circling back, um chat, we gotta talk about it. We gotta talk about it. I told myself I wasn't going to because I told myself I didn't really care for real. Um but the more I thought about it, I actually actively do care like a lot. Um as was aforementioned, Coachella was this past weekend. Um what the hell, man? Um the biggest takeaways that I can take away from what I seen from Coachella, um, K-pop group La Seraphim what was a big highlight of Coachella weekend for a lot of people. Um, a lot of y'all are still walking away not knowing how to feel about Ice Spice. Um, and from the stuff that I seen, Coachella, y'all got all the rest of the year to figure out what y'all gonna do about y'all camera crews this year, cause what y'all gonna do about your camera crews for next year, cause this year, as far as camera work was concerned, was atrocious. It was absolutely atrocious. Um, and especially because we're in the age of where like a lot of stuff like that it is also becoming a part of um, the performance aspect of things. Um, is the only reason of why I'm bringing it up. Um, do better, respectfully. Do better. Just do better, because chat from the performances that I have watched, it's been hard to watch in any of. the performances for real. It's been hard to get through a lot of the performances for real because of the shoddy camera work. I'll just keep it. I'll just keep it a whole $120 with y'all. This shit that we've been seeing is not good. Well, what I seen from this weekend was not good at all. Okay, bit rate still good. At all, it wasn't good. I didn't like it. I don't approve. A 0 out of 10 would not recommend any of those camera people to anybody. I don't give a damn how many shows that they like. I don't give a damn how much work they've done. I don't give a damn who the fuck them people are. Them niggas did not do a good job. And maybe it's the fact that, you know what I mean? It for some of them people, it was probably their first time having to cover something, have to cover an event that large. Um, but we shouldn't have been able to tell. And that's just my beef. The beef is that we were able to tell that for some of them people, it might have been their first time doing something like a Coachella. Um, is the reason of why I'm walking away with that being the biggest beef, to be honest. Um, Again, for all my hip hop, uh, for all my hip hop lovers, um, I don't know. It's just that thing for me where just like stop. Respectfully, with love, I have no hate in my heart for Ice Spice, but it's just that thing of where it's just like all my hip hop folks, y'all got to stop pushing this narrative that she's like this like world renowned performer every time she gets on stage. Shorty don't do nothing but Shorty don't do nothing but get up there and shake her ass. Like that's not, yeah, not even good. Like it's girls in Atlanta who work at Magic City that do it better. So like I'm not impressed. Uh, as far as on that and this is coming from somebody who actually puts on an actual show on stage. Uh, yeah, you're not impressing me, shorty. You got to do a little bit better than that. Because the fact that I could sit there and look at that performance and be like, oh, I could have just got up there with a DJ, with me and just a DJ, and I would have done 3 million times better. It's saying something. It's saying something. It's telling. It's telling that's just where we're at in the current space and place, that we are all complacent with the bare minimum. Not the bare minimum. We're complacent with mediocrity. Because to be quite honest, like what did Shorty do that has y'all on Twitter being like, oh, like this was the second best Coachella performance I've ever seen. It goes Beyonce, then Ice Spot. Like, you're not finna do that. They enshrined Beyonce's Coachella stage in a museum. That stage is a piece of history in a museum now. I don't think they're going to do that same thing for Ice Spice. Respectfully, with love. And again, it's this thing of where it's just like I'm saying this as a fact of the fact that I just want all of us as artists to just quite simply and quite literally just do better. Just do better and be better and actually get back to giving a damn. Just actively, just like collectively, just collectively as artists, like it's just time that we got back to giving a fuck. Because it's the ones of us that give a fuck that now y'all are looking at us like weirdos. Like it's not how that works. Let's just get back to giving a fuck, please, and thank you. Because like, what are we doing? What are we talking about? Shit is so weird to me. Shit is so weird. Yeah, it's just weird to me. It's weird to me. I don't like, and I don't really know what else to say other than that. It's just like cool. If y'all are complacent with this mediocrity, then sure, by all means, go ahead, go off, twin, do the things. Um, but what's not gonna happen is I'm not gonna sit here on Beyonce's internet and lie to y'all and be like and do like all the rest of y'all and be like, oh yeah, by far this year, hands down the best Coachella that I've seen in years. I don't know what a lot of you niggas was watching, but we clearly must have been watching two different things. And it's really that thing for me of where it's just like your stage performance as an artist, like really like because of the fact that like that's such an important part of like what it is that I do. What you do on that stage like plays a huge factor in how much I like you as an artist. For me personally, for the rest of y'all, it could be like, oh well, all of her songs be playing on the Tiki Talk, so like that's why I like her. That's why I like a lot of the artists I like. Um, I don't care. I will go down in infamy as the biggest TikTok hater on this on the in the content creating space. I I thoroughly hate TikTok. I didn't like TikTok when TikTok was musically. So you know what I mean? So what are we talking about? What are we doing? You know what I'm saying? Like what are we talking about? What are we doing? Just but yeah, on the artist side of things, that's just all it is for me. Where on the artist side of things, for my artist this year, my fellow artist this year, um, as far as festival season is concerned. Start going out there and performing like y'all niggas give a fuck. Like, just get back to that. We get it. A lot of y'all niggas are like, we get it. A lot of y'all motherfuckers are cool. Get up there and put on a show. I don't care about none of that. No, but if I go up there and go too crazy, then everybody gonna put me on their Instagram. Okay, it's okay. They gonna put you on your Instagram story. They gonna like, you know what I mean. Put you on their Snapchat and their Instagram story. They gonna forget about that shit in like 2 weeks. And them niggas not really gonna remember about that week until Snapchat reminds them. So worried about being recorded on people's phones. And put on a show. Put on a show. Put on a show. That's really all I have to say about that. Put on a show. Oh, and also have performance tracks. Because respectfully, with love, uh, that's why I'm sitting here saying. That's why I'm sitting here saying this, and I will continue saying this. Like the artists that don't perform their tracks with no vocals on it, them are the ones that are like, you know what I mean? Like with no backing vocals on their stuff, like that. Those are the artists that are kicking y'all ass. That's why these K-pop. That's why these K-pop groups and like all of these other acts that like do the things like that's why they're actively running laps around y'all niggas. That's why they're actively lapping y'all niggas. And they have full blown dance routines. And they still remember all the words to all of the songs. So, what's your excuse again? All right, thought so. Thought so. um, Into who's in? I think I'm done. I'm complaining and griping at y'all about Coachella and about The festival season. It just, as somebody who did that festival season run for 3 years, it just, like your vent, yeah. It just, you know what I mean. I just expect better as somebody who's like actively in this music space. Um, I get it. I get it. They paid y'all to be there at Coachella, and y'all got y'all bag or whatever, and that's cute. Um, yeah, that's cute, but you know, after that, what else? You got your bag. You paid them people. Now what? Or them people paid you, and you, like, you know what I mean? You can hire somebody to design you a little Coachella stage. You got your dancers. You hired your band. Now what? That's actively the thing, chat. And I'll be honest with you, chat. That's actively that thing of why I don't go to that many shows. Unless it's to see my friends perform, or unless my best friend, shout out to my best friend Tony. Shout out to my best friends Tony and Addie. Love y'all. Um, but if they don't invite me out, that's why I don't. Hell, I'm gonna go like, hell, I'm gonna go and watch you niggas do karaoke. Like, hell, I'm gonna go and watch you niggas do karaoke for an hour and a half for. I wish I could find that clip. Um, we're gonna go see the Wiggles. Oh, brother. Yo Gabba Gabba don't go on tour no more. I was about to say, I'd rather go see Yo Gabba Gabba than the Wiggles. They have bops, I'm sure. Yep. So I could watch a whole bunch of people talk about some fruit salad. Yummy, yummy. Oh, brother. Um, nah, but really though, chat, like it just respectfully, and that's like it's that same thing again. Like I always bring her up, A, because she's my favorite streamer, but B, because I like resonate with this sentiment so well. I also understand why somebody like Cup of Noodle that like when she goes to concerts, she goes to concerts to see bands, like actual like live bands, as opposed to, because again, it's that thing of where it's just like y'all niggas get up there, y'all have these DJs behind y'all, this DJ presses play, and you're performing over your tracks. That's what I was gonna say. Like I wish I could find that. What I'm gonna actually do is I'm gonna have my brother Isaac, or my buddy Marco send me that clip of that dude being like, dude, I think he was like at an artist showcase or something or whatever, and bro was like, respectfully, stop performing over y'all own tracks. Like, please stop. And people are spending all of this money to hear you, my fellow artists. These folks done put in, some folks done put in overtime, done worked doubles. Um, some folks done stayed later so they could make some extra ducats just to buy a ticket to come see you do karaoke for an hour. Again, respectfully, early 2020, early 2023, I was right there with y'all. But it was because of my friends in the village that was like, nah, we just got to get you to get out of that. Because respectfully, with love, like you're far too good. You're far too good, and you're far too talented to be um, that lazy. I was like, you know what? You're right, friends. I'm not lazy. Let's do the things. So yeah, that's why actively now, like, yeah, I'll do that. I'll go back and I'll like, you know what I mean. If it's a joint of where I don't have, if it's a joint where I don't have the instrumental to it already, like bounced out, I'll go out and I'll go back and do that now. That doesn't, whatever. That don't bother me. That don't shake me none. And respectfully, now is like the only time I'm sending somebody something with vocals on it is if I'm preparing a live band. It'd be like, bet I'm gonna rock out with y'all. This is the stuff that, you know what I mean. It's like, bet y'all are coming with me on tour, or y'all are coming with me to do this show at this venue. This is the music that we're gonna do. This is the, like, you know what I mean. This is the music that we're gonna do. This is the way we're gonna transition into these songs, and this, that, and the third, and this is how the show is gonna go. That's literally the only time I'm sending anybody anything with vocals on it. And anytime I'm not performing with a band now, yeah, I learned that from watching my, like, you know what I mean. And I learned that from watching my little bro Isaac do his thing. You want to know why so many people in the city love to see Isaac do his thing live? It's just an instrumental, and you actually get to hear him sing live. I get it. Oh, but I be smoking too much. I don't want to forget my lyrics. I don't want to forget my words. First of all, rehearse. Rehearse. Quite simply, rehearse. Because y'all can't use that excuse with me. It don't work. It don't work. It'll never work. Rehearse. rehearse. Like what are we talking about? Like rehearse. Go over your shit. Now, I'm not gonna do like a lot of other artists in the city do. Like I'm not gonna shit on you for like that being your way to do your stage performances, but respectfully with love, y'all also don't realize, fellow artists, that when y'all do that, when y'all do when y'all are performing over y'all already pre-recorded tracks, you make that harder for the you also make that harder for the for the sound techs. You have now actually made the sound tech's job 30 times more like 30 times more impossible because now they have to actively mix your actual live voice and to make sure that matches the levels on the track and to make sure that yeah. Now I get it. It's that thing where it's just like, oh well, it's easy for you to say because for niggas like you and Isaac, y'all just already have y'all stuff, so y'all could just make stuff instrumentals. Yeah, okay, fine, cool, we can. So you can't just call your engineer and be like, hey, I need instrumentals of every song I've ever recorded with you. I need an instrumental version of every song that I've ever recorded with you. That simple phone call can't be made. No. Oh, I get it. You don't want to make that phone call because it's just easier for you to just get up there and be like, yeah. You know what I mean? Just, people pay good hard earned dollars to come and see y'all. And it's that thing where respectfully with love, if we wanted to hear y'all track, like don't get up there and hear some track that like a lot of people be doing. Don't get up there and perform your track. Like, don't get up there and just sing over your track that I was actively already listening to on the way to the concert. Because especially for somebody like me, it's that thing for me where it's just like if I was just gonna do that, we could have just listened to your like, we could have just sat and did like I could have just sat with my community in Discord and just played all of your music. It would have been the same exact thing. So yeah, just but it's but no, that's so much more work. Okay, it's so much more work, but when you get up there and the performances are actually better, and now you can charge a little bit more to in which you now get to get yourself a little bit more ducats than oh, I'm sorry. Too much business advice all at once. I mean, hey bro, I don't know what to tell you, gangster, but it's just like know, I don't know what to tell you, bro. Other than quite simply, just put the work in. You know what I mean? Like y'all want this to be y'all job so bad, but like you know what I mean? Like y'all want this to be y'all career so bad, but y'all don't. Like, you know what I mean? Y'all don't take the steps to actually treat this joint like it's a career that you actively care about. So you know, case in point, you can actively tell how much I care about all of the things that I do. Case in point, this stream right now. You see this background border frame thing that I got going on my stream? Bet you're wondering where's he going with this? Why is that important? Why is that important? Because I actively, you like it? I'm glad. That's good news. That makes my heart feel good. But why is that important? Because I actively went back and looked at my previous streams, and it's just like, man, it sure is a lot of just my face. And then when we change the scene to or when we transition into like do a game or into reactions or something, then you know what I mean, then that's on the screen. Like, I don't know, it feels just kind of bare bones and naked and nasty. I actively give a damn about y'all's viewing experience. When y'all go back and like you know what I mean, when y'all either later down the line, um, if you're going back and watching it on the YouTubes and things like that, or whatever the case may be, right? Um, I actively care about that. The same way, again, fellow artists, the same way of when you catch my like you know what I mean? When you catch my allegedly handsome self on stage somewhere, um, yeah, now I've gone the extra step to be like, bet these are the songs that I'm gonna do at this specific performance. I've already done the things to go and grab these records and take all of the vocals out of them. Now you just get the beat. And so now when I'm up there and I'm actually like, you know what I mean? And I'm actually doing my thing, that's why these songs now hit a whole lot, a whole lot differently. Cause now it's like, wait, oh, snap. So it's just so that's him. Oh, the mic is on. Oh, the mic is on because that's just him. That's just him, and the beat playing behind him. That's actually crazy. That's like no, that's actually heat. We love that. We love that. Good, cause you know what I mean. But you know what I mean? That's what it's about. Fellow artists, take your craft seriously. Especially because of the fact that it's, you know what I mean? Like, y'all are these same individuals that be like, man, bro, like, it's crazy because, like, I want to get paid to do more shows and blah, 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 blah. But it's also this thing of where, like, again, especially in booking this tour, um, a lot of these venues out of town that I've been talking to and having these discussions with, I'm not even upset that a lot of them have been telling me no. Is it frustrating? Yes. Am I mad that they've been telling me no, though? Why is that? I get it that a lot of these venues now are like, if y'all not gonna bring a live band, if everybody is actively not bringing a live band with them, then we respectfully would love. We don't want y'all to come in our venue. Why is that? Same thing, like I said, a lot of these venues in a lot of these other cities, these sound techs are not gonna sit there for like not gonna sit there for 20 minutes trying to figure out how to get these little levels right with your little tracky track. You know what I mean? With your little pre-recorded track or whatever. You're not like they're not doing that. They're not. So why is it easier for them to just be like, okay, like, oh, you got a band? But like, why do you think a lot of these sound tech? And this is coming from somebody who actually has like a good relationship with a lot of like sound techs in this game. I'm talking about like well-respected sound techs in this game. Like I'm talking about, it's niggas that come from out of town that know the name of the sound techs that I'm actually in relationship with. It's some of these bands that are actively like, hey man, like we actively want to do a show at your venue, but we're only gonna do it if such and such is running sound. A lot of y'all are like, that makes no sense. Why are they doing that? Why not? For one, a lot of these bands are coming with instruments and voices, and that's it, and that's all. And I get it. For a lot of y'all, it's like, oh, but these beats that I found off YouTube and blah 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 blah, and these tracks that I did, and yeah 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 yeah. You can have all of the excuses in the world, gang. Trust me, I did early 2023. Like, you know what I mean? Early last year, I had all of the excuses in the world. And then I got to sitting there and talking with my sound tech homies, and they was like, "Trust me, bro. It just..." And even literally one of my really good sound tech homies was like, "So when are you gonna get a band?" Cause like It's like I feel like that's the only thing that you personally are missing. You get a band behind you, you're like, you know what I mean. You get a band behind you, niggas are in trouble. And for what it's worth, I get what they're talking about because I've actively gone back and I've seen some footage from friends that have seen me jamming around and fucking around with my friends, and it's like, oh, oh, I get it now. I get why I keep getting asked that. So yeah, it makes sense. But again, yeah, I get it. Younger me in my early 20s, I'd have been upset after like the fourth or fifth venue would have been like, respectfully, we're a live music only venue, so like, you know what I mean. Like we're a live band only venue, so we can't commit to this kind of show in our venue, respectfully. Okay, I get it. Don't upset me none. Actively, I get it. I get it. And just also actively to the places that, like, with the places that I've been to when they've had like live bands performing in said venues, it's like, oh, huh, yeah, you know what? That makes sense. That tracks. I understand. I understand now. I gather why that's a thing. I gather why that's a thing. Uh, yeah, I get that. I gather why that's a thing for yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. I get it. I do. I get it. And to all of my fellow artists that are like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to get it. I don't want to get a live band. It's too much work. And put y'all on some little game that I learned. Saying something like I don't want to do that because it's going to take too much time. That time is going to pass regardless. So you could either do the things, set yourself up to have more successful and bigger and better shows, maybe introduce yourself into touching some different venues that you haven't touched before, or you could continue doing what you're doing and then wonder why you feel like you're running around on a hamster wheel. But just respectfully with love, don't come and hit me up in the next like 2, 3 years when you're still doing the same 6 to 7 venues all year long. And now I'm off in these different places. Respectfully with love. Cause it's just like, you know, makes sense, chat. Makes sense. And this is coming from somebody who actively, the older I get, my favorite types of individuals to listen to when I'm not in the middle of like working on or creating an album, like a lot of the quote unquote bands slash art, well, a lot of the not even quote unquote, a lot of the bands that are actively moving up my favorite you know what I mean? They're actively moving up my like moving up the rankings for me as far as like favorite musical individuals to listen to. Not even individuals, just favorite musical beings to listen to are all these people that are in bands. My all-time favorite like hip hop crew to listen to right now, again, the older I get, is now the Roots. Why? Because that's a hip hop band. Why is it I'm always excited? Even though NPR, why is it I always be excited to react to Tiny Desk on my channel, even though NPR actively runs us a fade every time? Them niggas get up there with a band. Sometimes it's big and elaborate. Sometimes it's really not that big. You know what I mean? Just background singers, guitar, bass, drums. Joint still hitting though, because now it's actively introduced you to these songs in a way that you've never heard them before. And I love that because now you get the studio version of a record, and then when you go and see these individuals perform live and they bring a band with them, now that's a complete, now you're experienced, now it's almost like you're experiencing the song for the first time all over again. Ooh, he just blew my mind. Oh, he's so wise. He's so beyond it. Nah, bro. I just know what that's like. It's actively coming from, again, and Miss Lady J, again, shout out to you for showing them love. My brothers, the Thornberries, right? The Brody Ray, my my big bro Raymond. Ray Dog, you see this? I love you, bro. But like, you know what I mean? Him being the lead singer of the band, it's some of these songs that he wrote back in way back when. And the one time it was me and him kicking it, and he's like, "Bro, I gotta show you something." Like it's like, "Bro, I gotta show you something real quick. You're not even gonna believe what it is that I'm about to show you. Like, it's gonna be fucking crazy." Showed me the studio version of a couple of songs of his that I actually like, of his that he does with the band that are like my favorite songs that he does with the band. But he showed me the studio version of a couple of those tracks that were back from like 2018 when he wrote them. Oh, I was messed up for weeks. I was messed up for weeks. I was like, everything I know about music is a lie. It wasn't that deep, but like it's just like, but really what it did show me for real, chat, is that it showed me that you don't have to be you as an artist and as an actual, and especially for me, I consider myself a musician because I technically am. Um, I play drums. I play drums, which has also made it easier for me to be able to produce. So you know what I mean. That's why again, also y'all chat, y'all have been here. Y'all have seen the streams where we've made beats. That's why for me, the production style in which that I produce it as if I'm like introducing parts for a band. And that's also why I have the ideas that I have for the retro nostalgia album. As far as like like introducing actual like live instrumentation to it. That's all I'm gonna say because I don't need because again, I don't need y'all niggas like doing a AliExpress or a Timu version of what it is that I'm about to do with this album. And what I'm about to do with every album after this. So y'all niggas gonna be like mad about the fact that it's gonna take me that it takes me so long to put out albums now. Y'all niggas gonna be sick. Y'all are gonna be sick because it's just that thing of where it's just like again, yes, chat. And yes, all of you random internet individuals that are gonna stumble across this work, whatever it is that you do, yeah, y'all have actively been watching me do. You know what I mean? Y'all have been actively watching me do the part that's easy for me, right? Which is the recording part. Now, for a lot of y'all, you might be like, okay, we watched him literally build all of these tracks over these series of streams. Like, So it's like, boom, that's it. It's done, right? We're gonna get those joints at some point, right? Mm-mm. That's just phase one. That's just phase one. All that you have been, all of what you've been seeing this past, been what? Like we've been at this for like what, 2, 3 months now, chat. It's just phase one. It's just phase number one. By the time y'all hear the finished product, you're gonna be like, "There's no way that that song turned into this." Like, you know what I mean? There's no way that that shit that he did on stream turned into this song. Impossible. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I refuse to believe it. And that's fine. Refuse to believe it. Well worth the wait. Well worth the wait, chat. It's gonna be well worth the wait. I promise you. And I'm not just saying that because of the fact that it's my work and that obviously, like, you know what I mean? Like these songs are essentially like my children, right? So I'm not just saying that because of the creative, like, you know what I mean? Because of the creative bias in me. I'm legit telling you, you're gonna when this joint comes out, you know what I mean? When the retro nostalgia album comes out, and you get your little AirPods or your headphones, or whatever it is, or you get in your vehicle and you hook your joint up and you press play. It's gonna be what you're gonna be like. You're legit gonna be like, oh my damn. You're gonna hear it and be like, oh my damn. I understand why I had to wait as long as I had to wait for this. Yeah, you're gonna understand why. Again, chat, because I actively care. And it's really just that thing of where it's just like it's really trying to get back into that bag for me, where it's just like, oh, I'm far too creative of an individual to just be like, yep, this is what, like, you know what I mean? Like, yep, this is what I've been doing. This is like, you know what I mean? This is what I've been doing. This has been what's working. Blah 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 blah. All of that. Like, yep, like I've done that, and now we're done. Now time to do the rolling. Now time to do the rolling up so we can roll it out. Like, nah. Mm-mm. There's an inner composer and musician that I have actively been trying to hold back. Um, to be quite honest, chat, because of fear that it wouldn't, that, you know what I mean, that everything wouldn't be understood, or fear that it wouldn't be appreciated the way that, you know what I mean, the, like, you know what I mean, the legit. active fear that everything wouldn't be appreciated the way it should be. Um, yeah, don't get it twisted. You still gonna get the studio version, like, you know what I mean. You still gonna get those kind of records of where it's just like, oh yeah, like, you know what I mean, like, clearly made that. Um, it's a reasonable understanding and feeling to have. Yeah. Um, but yeah, don't get it twisted. Like, you will still get records of where it's just like, oh yeah, it's like I had an idea, turn that idea into a beat. We did the things, like, you know what I mean. We did the things, mixed it and mastered it, and now this is where we're at. Now this is where we're at with it. Like, you know what I mean? That'll be the thing. Like, you know what I mean? But now, when you come to see me perform some of those singles and those other joints live, I don't want to hear nothing. I don't want to hear nothing about on. I don't want to hear nothing on music Twitter talking about that sounds different. I don't know how to feel. It sounds different live. Yeah, that's the idea, genius. It's the point. Because again, fellow musicians and artists, we have to get back to creating an experience for our supporters when they come to see us live. It has to be an experience. Shout out to my good sis Nanners 559 here in the city. She's, you know what I mean. She's a manager, show promoter, um, and that's the biggest thing with her. That's the biggest thing for her, and what's been one of her goals. I'm not gonna share all of what she shared with me in the conversation that we had, but that was her biggest thing. She's just like, it's like, you know what, folks wouldn't give me no. Folks ain't been really giving me the opportunities I feel like I very much deserve. Um, but it's cool. I'm just gonna do my own thing, and I'm gonna make it, and I'm gonna make these things an experience. It's like, get back to creating these experiences. Because to be quite honest, y'all haven't been creating them. Don't shoot the messenger, but y'all haven't. Cool. You could have been in a venue and you had all 600 people in the venue, like, singing along with your joint word for word. But it was just you and a DJ up there. Ooh, so moving. Wow. It's a reason why when certain people like regardless how a lot of y'all might feel about these individuals, Chris Brown or an Usher, or like, you know what I mean, or those kind of acts when they like roll through California. So a lot of people I know that it don't matter. They don't have to be coming to my exact city in California. I know folks that will actively make that trip. If Usher's Super Bowl performance showed y'all anything, it's about creating an experience for your supporters. Y'all know how I actively don't like the word fans. But um but again, it's exactly what it's about. It's about creating an experience. Um that's why I do the things that I do with my records. Or you know what I mean? If I don't have a live band, that's why I do the things that I do with the little um with my little music mashups that I make. So yeah, now it's that thing of where it's just like, oh bet. They gave me 20 minutes, bet. Time to time to get to crafting and creating because it has to be an experience. Has to be. Cause I already know how the rest of y'all niggas is coming. They're gonna come up there. Y'all going, oh, okay. So this next song we're gonna do is called this. And you know what I mean? And it's gonna be what it's gonna be. An experience has to be created though. And I make sure I do that every time. And I'm not coming light as far as performances and as far as entertainment is concerned. I make sure to be on the shadow of a doubt. I do my damnedest to put on a show every single time. And it's just that thing of where it's just like, yeah, this is finna, like, you know what I mean? And it's really that thing of where, and I say this in the most respectful way possible, in the most like loving way possible. I really do be feeling sorry for those of y'all that have to be coming after me in a lot of these shows because it's just like, it's like actively like, bro, like this, like the stuff you do could actively be jamming, but it's like, yeah, but it's like, yeah, but bro, who is just up here just went nuts right now. Like, I don't, like, I can't forget what I just seen before you got up here, respectfully. Like, that shit was like, that shit was a moment. That shit was a movie. Like, I'll never, like, that shit was a moment in a movie, and I don't know how to feel about it. Like, I don't know. I digress. I spent a little bit more time on that conversation than I would have liked. Um, for me personally, but it's also that thing where it's just like, you know what? I'm not sorry because all of that needed to be said. Uh, take all the time you need. I appreciate that. But yeah, no. It's I actively just understand it. All of that needed to be said. Um, all of that needed to be said because of the fact that I love music. I love this thing called music far too much uh, to let anybody that comes in contact with me treat this like some kind of plaything. Um, this is like not a toy or a video game to be played with. This is, and again, everybody doesn't look at music the same way that I do, but I look at, I just take music very seriously. It's a very very serious thing for me. So it's just like not just this thing of where it's just like, oh yeah, like you know what I mean. Like I'm just gonna get up here and whatever is gonna happen is gonna happen. No, not whatever is gonna happen is gonna happen. What's gonna happen is you're gonna get up there and a spiritual encounter is going to happen. Point blank and period. A spiritual experience is going to that's just like you know what I mean. Again, that's why you need to create an experience because you need to allow that space for the proper spiritual experience to happen. And respectfully with love, that's not just gonna happen with you just doing with you just performing a bunch of tracks like that like you're like that's not it's not enough. It's not enough. It's not enough. It's not enough. Again, everybody don't see music the same way that doesn't look at music the same way that I do. Some of y'all are in this because you want to be famous. That's fine. You know what I mean? That's fine. So you look at music differently. Some of y'all are in this because y'all want to get hoes. Um, good luck with you on that. Um, because just as far as that's concerned, the problem with chasing hoes is the hoes will uh, mess with anybody who will give them attention. So that's a thing. Secondly, or lastly, some of y'all are just in this because I'm here for the bag. Cool. You go on ahead and do that, twin. But when you get all of that money and you sitting in your big ass house in wherever the fuck you at, USA, and you're still not happy, give me a call so we can have a real conversation. Don't worry, I won't air your business out. But you know, for those of us that actively love this shit, yeah, y'all know what's up. Y'all know what it is. Y'all know how we rocking. Y'all know how we coming. Ain't nobody playing with us. Uh, that's it, and that's all as far as that's concerned. Um, Now shifting gears yet again, we got to talk about this in more music news. Now, on the music news side of things, we got to talk about it. Um, I've been mentioning it for months. I've not even mentioning it for months. I've been mentioning it since this man Kendrick Lamar dropped his initial verse on that Future project. We don't like you. I mean, we don't trust you. Like, you know what I mean? And then Kendrick Lamar came out with his like that verse, and for whatever reason, all of my fellow music listeners were like, "Oh my god, I can't believe what happened. Why is Kendrick upset with Drake?" First of all, that now let's get into it because now I'm really about to school y'all. Uh, First of all, and I've said this before, and I will say this again, as a lover of all three of those, as a not even lover, as a individual, as a fan of all three of those individuals, um, for three very different reasons, uh, I have been known that Kendrick Lamar and Drake were at odds. Um, that being said, I was not, and I am still not surprised at how everything has transpired since the initial Kendrick Lamar verse. Because since Kendrick Lamar dropped that control verse where he said everybody's name and he said, like, you know what I mean? I got love for all of y'all, but this is hip hop, so you niggas should know exactly what's about to come next. And he named all the people. And everybody else was like, hey man, I mean, I get it. And he said it in the record. It's hip hop. So, like, you know what I mean? So, you know, it is what it is. Everybody was like, you know what I mean? I don't feel no way about it. It's whatever. And we've had that conversation of where how it's funny how the only people who did have a problem with it were niggas whose names weren't mentioned. We've already discussed that part. But there's this one individual that, whether he will admit it or not, had the biggest issue with it. And that is one Drizzy Drakathan. Now, for those who have been following my music journey for as long as y'all have been following it, y'all know that um, I mean, damn that. Yes, I'm a very big Drake fan, but but also because of the fact of how big of a Drake fan I am, I'm also one of those individuals of that I'm always the like Drake is the one artist that I am always the toughest on because of how big of a fan I am of him and of his work and everything that he's done as an artist. Uh, So you know what I mean? I'm always the first person of where when Drake actively gets it wrong, I'm that first person, and my chat can vouch. You know what I mean? Not even just my chat, my community as a whole can vouch. I am the first person that will jump out there and be like, "Yeah, this is stupid. He got it wrong. He did it wrong. This is not how you do this. It's not how you handle this. It's not how you go about this." Case in point, while all of you Aubrey sexuals was like, yeah, was like death to anyone who said For All the Dogs was bad, and I was that one person who was like, I think it's bad. Do something about it, and I'm still a Drake fan. Fight me. It wasn't good. Like, you know what I mean? He had some joints in. He had some joints in there that are bops. But in all seriousness, as a collective, all in all body of work, that album is god awful. And I stand 10 toes on that statement. For All the Dogs was not a good album. And I gave my reasons why on this podcast. Shameless plug if you would like to know what those reasons are. It's one of those it's in one of those episodes. It wasn't good. And it didn't make me love Drake any less. Pause, because I know a lot of y'all niggas are gonna take that shit out of context and make that shit weird. But the album wasn't good. Saying all that to say, where again, the week previous to this past one, we had one Jermaine Cole release a diss track. Um, and then 2 days later, he apologized because of the fact that it was affecting his peace of mind. And then honestly, it's that thing where it's just like, y'all are sitting here making all these jokes or whatever, but like when you really like sit there, and this is the last time I'm gonna even touch on this subject as far as Cole is concerned. I said it again. Hindsight, I've said it. I said it again with every when all of this transpired. Hindsight being 2020. If it was me, I would have never said anything. Personally. If I was J. Cole, and if I was in J. Cole's situation, I personally wouldn't have said anything. Nevertheless, he did. Then 2 days later, he apologized because of the fact that it was affecting his spirit, and he didn't like the fact that he felt the need that because of the fact that people who were not involved, whether it was vis-a-vis the internet or his actual friends in his actual circle, being like, you just gonna let bro talk to you like that? Man, personally, if it was me, I would, you would what, nigga? What would you do? Because he didn't say anything to you. He really didn't even say anything to Cole for real. He specifically he addressed the person who he really addressed the person who he really needed to address. So for all of you niggas being like, oh, if that was me, I would, what would you do? What would you really do? Tweet like you're doing right now? Good. Just continue tweeting and shut the hell up. Cause he didn't, cause Drake, cause not Drake, cause Kendrick Lamar was not talking to you. Random individual number 612. So shut the hell up talking about like what you would do if like you know what I mean? Shut the hell up with all of that talking about what you would do if you were in such and such a shoes. Well, the good thing about that and the great news about that is you're not in such and such a shoes. So you don't have to worry about that. Now go on, now go about your day and live your fucking life. That's part A. So again, unfortunately, J-, J. Cole fell into the pressures of like having to deal with that. I get it. It happens to all of us. Like, you know what I mean? It happens to all of us at some point in life. I'm not sitting here and saying that like I'm holier than thou, but it's just that thing of where it's just like I get that. He didn't really want to respond in the first place, but because of the fact that everybody was like, you gotta say something, you gotta say something, you gotta do something, you gotta say something, you gotta shoot back, you gotta, 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 you gotta. It eventually got to a point of where Cole was like, you're right, I do gotta do something. And then 2 days later, he felt terrible about it. Now, fast forward to now this week, or you know what I mean? Fast forward to now this past weekend, one Aubrey Drizzy Drake Graham drops his diss track Push Ups. Now, let's just talk about it, shall we? Now, for me personally, as a Drake fan, I'm glad he finally responded. I am. Why? Because now maybe this narrative of being now maybe this narrative that y'all have been pushing on rap Twitter since like 2012 can finally stop. Not even 2012, since like 2014 can finally stop. Oh, Kendrick, the one person that Drake will never come back, like will never come back at. Drake will never try Kendrick. Drake will never try Kendrick. Drake will never come in Kendrick. Drake will never come in Kendrick. He's afraid of Kendrick. That's the boogeyman to Drake for real. He will never come back at that man. Well, he did. So now what's so now what? So now what? He responded. So now what? Hmm? Hmm? And apparently that wasn't even everything. Apparently there's a lot more that he can say, and there's a lot more that he can address. This the same nigga that y'all said was so scared and would never and could never come for somebody like your glorious king Kung Fu Kenny. And again, I fuck with Kendrick. I love Kendrick. But like what we're gonna stop doing as what y'all are gonna stop doing as just as strictly just consumers of music, y'all gonna stop acting like you know these individuals. For real. which is why the whole approach for me and the whole approach that I took with this whole entire thing and this whole entire situation was just, you know what? Um, I don't know when and I don't know how long it's going to take, but I would really like for Drake to respond and say something. Just to shut up all the Kendrick meat gobblers, respectfully. Actually, not even respectfully, but like, you know what I mean? For all of the people that were just meat writing Kendrick better than some adult film stars, I'm glad he finally said something. Into y'all's glorious king. Because he's so scary, right? Because Drake's so scary. He only beefs with women for real. Like this nigga didn't put Meek Mill in a body bag a couple of years ago, but it's fine. You know what I mean? Recency biased. Y'all remember what y'all want to remember about niggas. Yeah, now it's that thing where all of y'all be like, now all of y'all are like, oh, I feel obligated. I feel like I gotta pick sides. No, you don't. You just made that decision up in your mind. You really don't have to pick sides. You just convinced yourself that you have to. Like I said from the beginning, I'm a fan of all three of these individuals. Even back when the off season came out and all of y'all had y'all jokes about how that freestyle that J. Cole did on the LA Leakers wasn't that great. Guess what I did? Every day. Guess what I still did? Goes to the off season and play. Headphones in, going about my life. And then right after that play a Drake song, and then right after that play a Kendrick song. Like I like if we really just want to talk, and I've said this before, and I will continuously say it. These are three individuals that help make the makeup of the creativity that you get from me now. Well, these are three core components. Also, along with Prince, Mike, and Andre. But you know what I mean. If we want to talk about the more recent individuals, the more recent individuals too, you know what I mean. Because I understand for a lot of you niggas that are under 20, you might not understand why I bring up Prince, Michael, and Andre like I do. So maybe the fact that Cole, Drake, and Kendrick are a little bit closer in your little memory bank, that should probably help. Or not. I could really care less. But, you know, it's that thing of where, again, like if I had to narrow it down to six individuals that make up the creative genius, or like, you know what I mean? that make up the inspirational concoction for the creative genius that it is that I now give back to the world, I would definitely, like, you know what I mean? I would definitely say go back and thank those six individuals. But yeah, but yeah. So now it's that thing of where it's just like now it's like that's just that on that. As far as the like, you know, yeah. So again, as a Drake fan, I'm happy that he responded because you know what I mean. So like now maybe this it won't, but now hopefully this narrative of y'all being like, oh, you know what I mean, like, oh, I know one nigga that nigga Drake would never come for. Okay, well now he did because the one nigga that he allegedly would never come for came for him first. And essentially, the way that I can break down this first track from Drake, because I do believe that there is, I do wholeheartedly believe that there is more. Should Kendrick respond? Like I think he, like I wholeheartedly do believe like he's going to. Um, yeah, I do believe there's more. So for this first iteration, uh, the consensus of this first iteration of what Drake has had to say to Kendrick is essentially, um, if I can break this synopsis down to my best ability possible, uh, what I gathered from the Push Ups record is Drake wholeheartedly believes that Kendrick would have never went platinum if he didn't get his help. Um, he you know what I mean? He thinks Kendrick is his son, and yeah, essentially it was that thing of where he basically said, and any of the rest of y'all that get involved, like fuck y'all niggas too. Um, and then it's that thing of where a lot of y'all that don't know better are kind of confused because it's like, wait, didn't wasn't I thought Drake and Future were cool? Like, why is there now beef with him and Future, no, they were cool, yes, but again, when you're in the industry at that status that they're at, um, and what happens when all of y'all niggas are frequenting with the same 12 women, um, and Drake being the little lover boy that he is, uh, got his little feelings involved with one of the ladies that it's let's just say essentially the friction and the tension that is now between Drake and Future has started over a female. Um, yeah, it started over a female, and now, yeah, so it's that thing of where it's just like it's that thing of where it's just like Drake, essentially to like everybody else who he took shots at. It's kind of like the like I said what I said, now do something about it, pussy type energy is what it gave off. Um, and the part that a lot of people are confused about is like, what is this 20v1 bullshit that he's talking about? Um, and part of me wants to be like, don't worry about it, sweetheart. If you really don't get that. Um, I'm gonna be honest with you, chat. The one line though that I do think is hilarious, um, and that I find myself constantly repeating as of recently since the track released is the is the Metro shut your hoe ass up and make some drums, nigga. That shit is hilarious to me. Um, because it just like um because for those that aren't involved in the rap Twitter space, uh ever since the initial shot that Kendrick Lamar took has came out, Metro Boomin has had a lot to say. Um, like you would almost thought Metro Boomin had a verse on that record, the way that he was kind of acting, vis-a-vis the whole thing. And again, I have no beef. I have no beefs with Metro. You know what I mean? Metro's a talented guy. Um, one of the biggest like you know what I mean, one of the biggest producers that's a part, like you know what I mean, one of the biggest producers as far as the Atlanta trap renaissance is concerned. So it's just like, you know, no beefs and no quarrels with young Metro. Uh but it's just funny because I figured with all that Metro was saying, I was like, oh yeah, he's gonna catch a stray for that. Um and then lo and behold, um shots were taken. Um shout out to RDC. I think that was an excellent skit. Um, um I think that was an excellent skit that they did. I thought that skit was quite hilarious. Um, Random sidebar. Um, and to all the other individuals that are like, for whatever reason, confused at the fact that why the weekend is involved. Um, Let me help y'all out because some of y'all have TikTok brains. Um, so y'all don't remember stuff. You know what I mean? So y'all don't do very well with remembering things. Um, Let us go back to when Drake and Pusha T had their back and forth, and vis-a-vis because of Pusha T's story of Adidon, we all found out that Drake had a son. Mm-hmm. That we did. We found out that Drake had a son. Well, the weekend, I know because a lot of that, like y'all, and a lot of this probably missed y'all because the biggest thing that y'all was just like, wait, Drake had a kid? Like Drake's got a kid? Like, whoa, this is huge news. And so yeah, again, a lot of the other like miscellaneous like side stuff probably missed you. Um Essentially the weekend took a shot and he said something about Drake hiding a kid. Like, you know what I mean? He said something about Drake hiding a kid and said that, like, you know what I mean? Essentially, he said something about Drake hiding a kid and essentially saying could never be me. Uh, Type beat type shit is essentially what I'm getting at with that. Um, so yes, that's how the weekend is involved. Now, for a lot of y'all being confused on why uh confused on why ASAP Rocky is involved, um just simply break it down for y'all. Drake has said something about the mother of this man's children. Uh, so I don't know how the rest of you weirdo ass niggas get down, but and I don't even have kids, but it's just that thing where it's just like for me, I damn the fact if y'all think the verse is good or not. It's not. But you know what I mean? Damn that. All of that aside, damn that. You said something about my woman, nigga. I'm gonna say something. I don't care if it sounds good or great or if everybody loves it or like I don't you said something about somebody who is important to me. We now have a problem. Point blank and period. That's the same reason of why he got involved in that. Like, you know what I mean? That's the same reason of why Pusha T responded the way that he responded with story of Adidon because of the fact that Drake said what he said about Pusha T's wife. You know what I mean? Like, not even he said what he said. Like, he name dropped Pusha T's fiance at the time because they weren't married. They're married now, but like at the time, you know what I mean? Like, you name drop this man's woman. And so it's that thing of where it's just like, oh, of course all bets are off. You said something about like you mentioned my woman. Like you said something about my woman. Now I have to decapitate you lyrically, Twitch. Lyrically. Now lyrically, I have to remove your cranium from the rest of your body. And so that's what Push did. So yes, essentially again, damn if y'all think that that Rocky verse was good or not. Which again, it wasn't. It wasn't the greatest verse ever. But also for me, I don't look at ASAP Rocky in that kind of light. Like, you know what I mean? Like I don't see him as like a lyrical like, you know what I mean? I don't look at ASAP Rocky as like a lyrical spar lord. Sorry to to all of you. Sorry to all of the ASAP Rocky stands out there or whatever. But like, I don't know, go shopping or something, nigga. Like, leave me alone. Um, yeah, I just don't look at ASAP Rocky as somebody who like in that kind of like realm. Um, like I just don't see ASAP Rocky being that kind of person of like somebody who's going bar for bar with somebody. Um, I just don't. So I'm not surprised that the verse was not good, but I'm also not upset at the fact that this man stood up for his woman. And I think that's the part that's going over everybody's heads. But again, it's also that thing where I'm not surprised it's going over everybody's heads because everybody who has something to say about it is also under the age of 20 or has never been touched by a woman before. So some of y'all niggas don't get it. Not that that's a bad thing. I'm just saying, like, it's like your behavior, like the your behavior is showing in that sense, is all that I'm saying. If that still makes you feel away, I have a whole comment section on my YouTube page where you can sit there and argue with yourself. Or you can make a or you can make a subreddit and cry about it. You know what I mean? Sit there and cry about the fact that, like, oh, this Bambi X Bambi guy just thinks he's just so great and he just gets all of the ladies and blah 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 blah. I'm typing with my fingers because I don't get women. So yeah, go do that. But again, the way that you guys are reacting as far as that ASAP Rocky verse is concerned, just like, yeah, bro, I'd be mad too. You talking about my like, you know what I mean? I'd be mad too if you was talking about my chick like that. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, Miss Lady J, because you know they gonna sit there and they gonna get mad at that. You know, I'm sitting here on this subreddit that nobody cares about because we all don't get women, so that's why we're upset. Uh, Sucks to suck, buddy. Um, so I guess they will, but that sentence was hilarious. I get it, but yeah, hopefully that eased some of the confusion for y'all being like, "Why did ASAP Rocky say something?" Drake has taken multiple I repeat, multiple shots at Rihanna. And I said it. And I said it then when all of those shots were being taken. I was like, "Oh yeah, bro, still hurt." Yeah, me, a Drake fan. I was like, "Oh yeah, bro, still hurt. Bro, still hurt. Bro is hurt." Yeah, she cute or whatever, but the coochie wasn't all that. But you're talking about it. So was the coochie not all that, or did your feelings just get hurt? And I said that when those verses came out, I was like, "Oh yeah." You know what I mean? When those things came out, I was like, "Oh yeah." That was another thing that I mentioned in my thoughts on the For All the Dogs. I was like, I think it's kind of dumb that you're still bringing this up now. You are still talking about Shorty now. So all of the things that you've like gone through, you know what I mean? After all the things that both of y'all have gone through as individuals, you still are circling back to be like, yeah, like y'all sitting here and like y'all think this chick is just so amazing, but the coochie wasn't that great. Why? Oh, you're still hurt. Yeah, you're still hurt. Mm-hmm. And for all of y'all about to be like, for all of y'all about to sit there and be like, oh, this nigga's just a Drake dick right before you even think about typing that. Yeah. Even one of my favorite niggas still can get the smoke. Again, because he's one of my favorite niggas and I hold him to a higher standard than y'all niggas do. There's some of y'all out there that think that there's not a thing wrong that Drake can do. I'm not that delulu. So how does one go about getting the smoke? Are you asking for science? Yes, scientific research. I'll see if I feel like telling you. Um, what was I saying? Ah, yes. Uh, but yeah, I'm not that delusional. Just like that. I try to tell you I'm really like that. Your best work is a light tat. Nigga, Prince outlived Mike Jack. Nigga, BAM! Uh, nah, legit. So, um, yeah. So for those of y'all that are like, the other like, oh, what the fuck? Why did ASAP Rocky say something? That's so random. No, it's not. Drake said what he said on For All the Dogs. And as a nigga who actively has and has had women in his life that he actively cares about, yeah, I understand that. I understand that part. Hey, damn if you one of my favorite artists or not, nigga. You're not finna talk about my woman like that. And think I'm finna just sit here twiddling my thumbs. Nah. Hey, sucker, watch your mouth when you talk about my woman. Or else. So that I get. Now, can I talk about myself and get the smoke at the same time? Oh, brother. Go take a cold shower. You need to calm down, ma'am. Because clearly someone has a raging lady boner. Or go get you some water. Because my God. Drinkable water? Never mind. Now, getting to the part now, getting to the part of this whole situation that has a lot of you guys a lot of y'all on rap Twitter confuzzled. Why did Rick Ross say something? Hmm. And to that, I would just say, um, I'm with you. I'm not 100% all the way sure on why Ricky Rose said something. Um, but nevertheless, he did. So here we are. Um, but personally, I just liken this to like a situation like when Joe Budden said something, or when Joe Budden was again fake beefing with Drake because this nigga Joe Budden like is such an Aubrey sexual. It's like so weird that he decided he wanted to diss him. Um, I don't see Drake saying anything. It's probably gonna be that thing of where it's just like it's gonna be like one of those situations is where it's gonna be like, did one of you rap peasants say something to me? I didn't hear anything. Like he's not gonna he's not gonna. And again, no disrespect to the biggest boss, Ricky Ross, but like bro, like respectfully, like you cool and all, but like Like you cool and all that. And, like you make some decent tunes. Um, like, you make some decent tunes, but like respectfully, uh, yeah, just respectfully with love. Um, the S tier rappers we're talking. I don't know why you got yourself involved. Um, it's how niggas get their feelings hurt, trying to insert themselves in conversations that they weren't involved in. Uh, so that's the way I could. That's my best way. That's my thoughts on Rick Ross involving himself in the conversation and in the situation. Just like respectfully, my nigga, nobody was talking to you. Um, but glad to know that you're still out here doing your rap thing. Um, cool. Thanks for that. I guess. Like it's like cool. Thanks for that. I guess. I think that's my thought process. It's just like why? Just why? Mm, I don't know. Yeah, so all of y'all on rap Twitter that are also the confusion. I too, as big of a rap nerd as I am, I too am the confused on the Ricky Ross saying something. It's like weird. Um, it's like, all right, bro, sure, whatever, sure, buddy. Um, but also it's that thing too of where like I don't count Drake out, and I'm pretty sure he probably said something slick. Um, he probably said something slick that like you know what I mean. Again, knowing the type of individual that Drake is, he probably said something that like where like the masses, myself included, probably will not get, but like probably said something where only the person he's talking to will know who he's talking to, and that's probably what warranted the Rick Ross response, if anything. Um, Side note, I heard it also was not good, but you know that's not who we're worried about. Respectfully, in all of this, respectfully, we're worried about what Kendrick Lamar is going to say slash do. Um, so yeah, there is that, and yep, that's where we're at. Hmm. Uh, and I'm very sure as time goes on, there will be a lot of more like random individuals that will try to involve themselves in this situation, uh, to try to make themselves members of the 20. Because mind you, Drake said, "What the fuck is this? A 20v1, nigga?" You know what I mean? It's that thing of where, yeah, because it was that whole thing of where when y'all was like, "Nah, Cole gotta say something," and then there was a lot of individuals was like, "Nah," because then it's gonna feel like niggas is trying to jump Kendrick. How ironically then that switched to a couple of weeks later, and then it's like, oh, now it seems like everybody trying to jump Drake. He's a grown man. He got it. Drake got him. As a Drake fan, I like, you know what I mean. As a fan of Drake, like I've seen it multiple different times. Like that man got him. And lastly, I'm gonna end it out on this. For all of you individuals being like, "Oh, Drake's a weirdo. Drake's a weirdo. Drake's a weirdo for this. Drake's a weirdo for this track. Drake's a weirdo. Drake's a weirdo. Drake's a weirdo." To all of that, I say, um, okay, bet. Show me which one of you motherfuckers are normal. Which one? Show me. Because I promise you, it's something that all of you individuals do. That all of you individuals with the post do. That I can find. That I can find somebody that will think that you're weird. Respectfully, with love. You know what I mean? At this point, with everything, it's just like I didn't realize that we were just amongst a whole bunch of like just perfect superhumans. Um, you know what I mean? I didn't realize we had so many plush and perfect superhumans walking around this damn earth. Um, but you know, cool, whatever, and shit like that. Um, they're just like, yeah. So again, basically, and it's off. Like, aren't we all weird to somebody? And again, I already know that's gonna be the. It's gonna be another one of those things where it's just like, oh, there this nigga go trying to defend Drake again. It's like, I'm not trying to defend this. Again, just find me one individual that is normal or perfect. Shout out to my pops. This was a conversation that we were actually having this past weekend, where I was just like, ain't it funny how everybody else can see everyone else's situation just as clear? Drake's a weirdo, but your boyfriend been cheating on you for 6 years, and you still with that nigga. Drake's a weirdo, but you have commitment issues. Oh my, clutching my pearls. Hey, I'm just saying. We could go down the line. I'm really not that kind of person to play with when it comes to like stuff like that. Because it's really that thing of where in a nutshell, if we were to really go down the list, show me one celebrity that's normal. And don't say J. Cole and Kendrick, because those niggas don't really count for real. Those niggas are anomalies. As far as in the space of celebrities is concerned, J. Cole and Kendrick are considered anomalies. I'm talking about an actively, always seen, always in the public celebrity. Show me one of those individuals that's normal. From your high and mighty throne that you sit on. Show me one. As an active individual that lives here on the West Coast, we don't call Hollywood Holly weird for no reason. We didn't give Holly Weird its name just for shits and giggles, nigga. We didn't. So with that being said, get that nigga dick out your mouth and go live your life. Drake's a weirdo, but you diddle your skittle to anime characters who aren't real. No shade. That's what gets your engine going. I'm not here to yuck nobody's yums, but Drake's weird, but didn't realize I was among so many perfectly normal people you know what I mean? As a king of the weirdos myself, I just didn't realize there were so many normies out here. That really is the biggest thing of where like the biggest part of why this is so upsetting is the fact because of the fact that it's really just that big thing of where it's just like, ain't it funny how everybody can see everybody else's situation just as clear? Whereas like Drake a weirdo, but the person you lay next to every night actively moves the same exact way. The only difference is that this nigga shit is publicized for the entire world to see. So now it's weird. Drake weird, but some of y'all ain't had sex since Obama was a president. So, all right, I'm gonna let y'all live. I got more of those shots, by the way. So, keep talking y'all shit. And again, that's not just me being a Drake defender. It just like ain't it funny how y'all niggas on the internet like will have all of these things to say like y'all niggas don't own a mirror. Drake's just weird. What about you? You ain't got no weird shit that you do? Hmm. Go ahead, lie to yourself and tell yourself that you don't. I know the truth though, because I have a brain that works, and I understand that this is a thing that's not so common. But I also have common sense. So cool, whatever. Because it's super crazy because it's the same thing of where it's just like y'all niggas say the same shit about Erica Badu. A lot of y'all be like, "Oh, Erica Badu is just a weirdo." Actively still listen to Call Tyrone every weekend though. Every time an Erica Badu song come on, y'all niggas still dancing to that shit. Same thing with that boy Drake. Drake a weirdo, but if I go in your phone right now, I bet you played Hotline Bling 2 weeks ago. Bet money you played One Dance a couple of months ago, or even a week ago. But Drake a weirdo, right? I digress. I digress. I'm off y'all boys, man. If for whatever reason this is the type of content that you enjoyed and you enjoyed what you've seen today, go ahead, leave a like on the YouTube side. Subscribe if you're new. Drop a comment for your boy. And yeah, go back, go and show the love, man. Um, if you want to catch me streaming live on the Twitch, I stream 4 days a week. Uh, stream 4 days a week, 3 days a week on 4 days a week. And three of those are on Twitch and YouTube. Our R&B church service is going to be on Twitch and Kick. Yeah, Kick finally stopped playing in my face, and we're back good again. Um, so if you want to come and be a part of that, twitch.tv/BVMB1_47 or kick.com. Same thing. Same slash. um, Follow me on those socials. You see the ticker. You see the ticker. Follow me there. Uh, that's where you can catch me when I'm off stream, being a whole artist and entertainer. Uh, and what are we doing tomorrow? Um, oh yeah. Um, Twitch, we're doing your favorite songs. You know what I mean? Your favorite song part two. Uh, Put me on. Show me what y'all been listening to recently on the R&B side of things. Um, Miss Lady J, I'm sure you have at least 100 more new favorite nasty songs uh, to share with the community. So gotta get your list. I know you don't only listen to nasty songs, but you know, pew. I forgot what I was gonna say. Other than the fact that I was just giving you a hard time about that. But yeah, that's what we're doing tomorrow. That is what we're doing tomorrow. Um, YouTube, I catch y'all when I catch y'all. To my Twitch and Kick community, I'll catch y'all tomorrow. Uh, Meantime, in between time, I love y'all. I'm trying my best not to miss y'all. Take all this good love with y'all. And until next time, I holla. Peace.